Hey guys, welcome to another edition of GamingNight. This is another awesome board game in my collection, and this one is called Cutthroat Caverns. Now, I don't know if I talked about this game before or not, but this is one of our favorites with our group. So we play it quite a bit. There's a lot to it. It's a very easy game to get into and play, learn how to play. You basically will take on a role of a adventurer, and you will all set up in a group, and you will face all kinds of different encounter types, whether from trap rooms to other monsters, and to get experience to win victory points. But unlike most games where you are going through a dungeon, it doesn't matter how much damage you do to the creature. All that matters is dealing the last blow to the creature. So you basically will only get victory points if you basically do the finishing blow on these monsters. Now the thing is, you need to work together as a group in order to do it, but at the same time, you don't want to help them too much. So you kind of got to balance between being the nice guy and being the jerk to actually get the victory points. So you're gonna basically be playing all kinds of different cards secretly, and and there's a whole bunch of cards. You got the attack cards, or they got the little attack things, and they got all kinds of different things with them. Then you have the action cards. This is like a reaction card. Then there are some cards. There's item cards. There's potions. The other one. Just trying to think where they're at. There's a whole bunch of different types of cards. Trying to find some more card types. Then you got these tactical cards that you can play too as well. They're not exactly attacks, but they let you do different things, and you can. So you basically balance your cards, and you are randomly dealt an initiative card to tell you when you're going in your turn. So you're not always going to go the same turn order, every turn. Let's see if I can find them. So, depending on how many players there are, you're going to have these initiative cards here. There's 1 through 6. You play up to 6 players, and you will deal them out randomly. And some creatures only will be able to attack you if you did damage. Sometimes the creatures will attack you randomly, like based on your initiative order. Like some creatures will say, "We'll attack the players of initiative 1 and 3." So if you're initiative 1 and 3, when you're dealing for damage, you're going to get nailed. We have all the current expansions in here, and I got the 4th expansion, and I'm out of the box, and so I organized all the tokens here. There's tons of different things. There's everything from wolves to zombies, skeletons. There's creatures that are really easy to. Let's see if I can find one for you. They're pretty interesting. See if I can find one for you. You got blink dogs. One of the. This one's not exactly it's a riddle room, and you basically are going to be playing a memory game, where you're basically trying to match cards of the same number and everything. And this is the one they recommend you playing with. This is the one from the first set. It says when a player is damaged by the Ripper, remove a card at random from their hand. So it says attacks player number 2 for 10 life points. Attacks player number 2 for depending. And then if you play with 5 players, it attacks players 2 and 3. And then for 10, and if you're playing with 6, it attacks players 2 and 3 for 15 life points. So you really want to take these guys down as soon as you can, but at the same time you're trying to get prestige points to win the game. So you kind of have to balance a little bit between playing nicely and not playing so nicely. You got cards that will let you trip somebody so their attack misses and does damage to them. Then you got to be careful because the players can play other cards that could cancel your attacks or cancel your actions. They can even play a card that will it's called edge out, and it lets them basically, if your card's not revealed yet, they can say, oh, you're going 3rd, I'm going 4th, but I know that player number 2 just did blah 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 damage, so if that 3rd player attacks, no matter what it is, they're going to get the kill. So you edge theirs out before they flip it up, and then you can go, hoping that they don't have something and it's going to make you lose your attack. So it goes back and forth, but at the same time, you really don't want to be too vicious early in the game, because the monster still stays as strong as he was when the set players start. So if you play a 5-player game, and the monsters at certain hit points are all at level 5 with 5-player games, even if you lose a player, you're still going to be playing with the stats for a 5-player game if we're playing a 5-player game. So eliminating that player too early could hinder your chance of getting victory. And if you're winning too much, someone can easily just start going all out on you and kill you. So you kind of have to you make alliances, you break alliances and stuff like that, and it's all. But you're not allowed to tell someone what kind of cards you're attacking with. You say, well, my attack isn't going to be that strong, or you can imply, but you can't say, yeah, I'm going to attack with something like really high damage, like 30 damage or something. You just basically can say, well, mine's moderate damage. I wish I could do better, and your players can interpret that, well, if you're going to hose them or not. So it's a lot of fun. If you like the take that kind of games with Dungeons and Dragons type feel to it, it's like that. You go through with every expansion, especially the 4th expansion, it adds like special abilities you can give to your characters, so they're not generic like in the original one. Like, so you can kind of build on it. There's event decks you can add. There's modules you can do other stuff with. So once again, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.